Laundrie's parents be held accountable for the actions they took while the nation searched for Gabby Petito. The more facts and information that we get about the Gabby Petito case, the more confounding it is, like why certain people made these decisions. We also have the body cam footage of when the Moab police responded to a domestic abuse call on August 12th.
I was distracting him from driving, I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Which was 6 weeks after they had left New York. We know they separated the couple for the night. That was it. No charges. The parents have a $50 million or $100 million lawsuit against the Moab Police Department because they don't feel that that interaction was handled correctly. 5 days later, August 17th, Brian flies back to Florida. Clean out a storage unit, which I don't know where he put any of that shit. He didn't bring it on the plane, right? And flies back to Salt Lake City on August 23rd. During that time, Gabby was editing YouTube videos and she posted their last van life video on August 19th. He gets back to Salt Lake City. I imagine they're together, and that was the last time, August 23rd, 24th, was the last time that Gabby ever talked to her family. He flew back to Florida and then came back and almost immediately unalived her. Why? My first thought is like some jealousy thing happened. She was hanging out with someone while he was gone. Like, I don't know, but it's weird. He cleaned out the storage locker to save money because they were going to be gone longer than expected. They found like a co-op where they were going to work on a pumpkin farm and be allowed to park the van for free. So he was planning for their future, and maybe he came back and Gabby didn't want that future with him. On August 29th, he called his parents in a panic and said, "Gabby's gone." His parents say, "Oh, we didn't think that meant she was not alive. We just thought she had left him." Really? Then why did you shell out $25,000 to retain an attorney? Yeah, why? On August 30th, there was a text received from Gabby's phone to Gabby's parents saying, "Yosemite, no service." And most likely that wasn't sent by Gabby. But where was the phone found? Was it with her body? Because I would think that Brian Laundrie was halfway back to Florida at that point. Because his ass shows up in Florida on September 1st in Gabby's van with no Gabby. Brian goes on a camping trip with his family, sits around, campfire, having s'mores, having small talk, and never discusses where his girlfriend is and why he still has her van. And they just need to prove that the dirty laundries caused the Petito family emotional distress, and I think they checked that box. So the real question is, how much are they going to get? And are the Laundries going to be living the van life soon? The Laundries by law had no obligation to disclose information about their child that could be incriminating, right? But the problem is they made public statements saying, "Oh, we are praying for Gabby's safe return and reuniting her with her family," when clearly they knew that wasn't going to happen, giving false hope to her family when they knew more.
You can come with me, I'll give it to you.
No, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian?
Brian? Is that layman spelling?
B-R-I-N, yeah, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
L-A-U-N.
D-R-I-E.
D-R-I-E?
Yep.
Laundrie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your date of birth, Brian?
So, judge already ruled in the favor of a wrongful death lawsuit of $3 million. The problem is Brian Laundrie had no money. So, I think there was only like 20 grand in there or something. His estate, which is basically anything that he had saved up, anything that he owned, once it's sold and his debts are paid, that's how much was left over. He was like a young kid, so obviously he has no money. So now they are going after the parents and the Moab Police Department. The police department one, I just don't know about because, how many domestic calls do police departments get and what more can they do? A lot of times people don't press charges. So, can you really hold them accountable for that if the parties are not interested in pursuing criminal charges? I don't know. One of the big things in this case is the burn after reading note that was found in Brian Laundrie's backpack, right? That from his mother that says no matter what, I will get you out of prison. I would bring a shovel to help you bury a body, which is wild, but she claims that it was a joke and it was a letter written before they even left on their trip, and the burn after reading thing was based on a book that Gabby had given her. The gist of the note was basically I love you, I'll do anything for you, which we found out she wasn't lying. So Brian unalived himself and left a note. The note says, "Oh, I was just trying to put Gabby out of her pain because she fell in a creek and she had a bump on her head that was growing." The lack of accountability even in his On a live note, honestly, I don't see any jury or judge in the world finding them not liable. So I think the question is, how much are the damages going to be? Parents probably can identify with being on both sides of this, right? But I don't think many parents would have taken that position that the Laundries took. Yes, remain silent, but would you be going out publicly and saying, oh, we hope she's found? Yes, there's loyalty to your kid, but would you be avoiding his girlfriend's parents' calls? There's a lot of things they could have done differently, and I think if they did speak to him and had him turn himself in, he'd still be alive. He'd probably be in jail for life, but they claim that lawyers advised them not to bring it up, not to talk about it at all, and they said that they didn't, but they're just like ignoring this thing that just makes no sense, thinking it's gonna go away, or like the evidence isn't gonna be enough to charge. And the fact that he was back in Florida for 12 days before Gabby's parents even knew that he was back.